All right, everyone. We're back at the okay. Before we go any further, I got to get this right. Peresmeshnik. I didn't get that right. Peresmeshnik. We are on board the Peresmeshnik. Damn it. We are on board the Peresmeshnik. Peresmeshnik. Okay. So, welcome back on board the Peresmeshnik. I have butchered that 1,000 times. I'm probably going to keep butchering it. So we just saw creepy beings munching on the dead bodies of the crew members. And Oberev pushed us into the armory, which is the room right next door. Fun. Once both of us are in the armory, Oberev locks the door behind you. New plan. We blow the bile. We blow it up. His voice trembles, but not with fear. His fists are clenched, and he looks up at you with determination. They kill my friends, defile my ship. I blow them up. Oberev holds up an explosive charge. You look up at him with concern. Is that safe? Of course it's safe. You set charges, you get away from charges, they blow up safe. Now let's get going. As you turn to leave, you realize you don't have any food or medical supplies. Wait, we need supplies. Oberev looks back at you. That is true. All right, you get supplies. I repair ship and arm bomb. Quickly now. You both leave the armory. Head your separate ways. You rush to the kitchen, grab some emergency rations, and then sprint to your room. And as you rush, you hear another low roar. You arrive at the door to your room. When you open the door to your room, there is no one there. There is a large knife lying on top of your desk. You often used it to open letters or carve when you're bored. You grab the knife, figuring the weapon might come in handy. Catch a glint in the corner of your eye and look to find your golden locket. It is open. Your daughter's face is smiling out at you. You pause for a moment before closing the locket and stashing it in your pocket. Head towards the lifeboat. As you run, your mind begins to wander frantically. How does it work? Oberev, please be all right. Just a rat, I hope. Where's my daughter? Where is it? Just the wind. Who's there? What was that? As your mind races, you begin to seriously ponder. It's already replaced Oberev. But I'm going to think it. You begin to think, what if it already got to Oberev? What if it replaced him? Will it know of our plan? Does it somehow absorb consciousness or parts of it? How did it know how to communicate? How did it act so human? If it absorbed some of the knowledge of its prey, it could have already gotten Oberev and be waiting for me. Even so, the lifeboat is my only escape now. Lifeboat is just around the corner now. Turn the corner. Lifeboat is now in view. Next to the boat, Oberev is waiting. He's anxiously fidgeting with his wrench before he finally sees you. He begins to smile grimly. As you get closer, you slow down before stopping altogether. You can't help but think about how the monster can mimic anyone. It took you so long. Well, hurry on in. The ship is set to blow in 20 minutes. Oberev stops for a second and looks at you inquisitively. What's wrong? Oh, wait. My mouse is saying something to me. Oh, no. It's saying something. Never mind. Is it really you? What are you saying? You think that I am. Wait. You think I am the thing? Obrev sighs. I suppose you were right to think so. Pauses a moment before continuing. Not sure how to prove I am not a monster, but I can tell you I hate that thing. I will kill it. The explosives are armed, and believe me when I tell you that it will bring great pleasure to watch that son of a bitch burn in the explosion. That is why I am not a monster. I'm going to believe him. Board the ship with him. He smiles as you board the lifeboat. See, not so bad, right? Obrev looks at you with a warm smile. Now let's get going. He walks over to the release mechanism and pulls the switch. There's a loud clank of metal as the lifeboat jerks back. However, the mechanisms don't detach. Obrev's smile is quickly replaced by a panicked look. What is wrong? The release mechanisms, they're jammed. Probably because of the cold. Yoimoyo. Obrev takes out his tools and begins working with the mechanisms, locking the lifeboat in its place. You hear another roar from the other side of the ship. Hurry! Shut it, Victor. I'm working as fast as I can. As he works, the sound of clanging metal echoes throughout the ship. You hear another roar. You aren't sure, but you think it was closer this time. Obrev looks back at you with a worried grin. I think we got its attention, comrade. You can do this. Keep going. Obrev turns around to keep working. 10 minutes pass by, but it feels like an eternity. You hear another roar, much closer this time. And in the distance, you see a shadow growing ever larger. You look worriedly at Obrev. Obrev, it's coming. Just a sec. Got it. Pokahali. Obrev jumps back into the boat. Hit that switch. Hit the switch. In an instant, the lifeboat is released. It falls violently towards the ocean water. Hits the water with a deafening smack and creates a massive splash, soaking you with ice-cold water. Obrev flicks a switch on the engine. With a roar, the engine sputters to life, and Obrev steers the boat away from the ship. A smile stretches across your face as you watch the Peresmeshnik. I said it wrong. Wait. Peresmeshnik. I was so close. Peresmeshnik grows smaller as you get further away. Boom! The ship is swallowed up in a fiery explosion, and as your ears ring from the intense sound of the explosion, you feel something whizzing past your head. You open and close your mouth rapidly, trying to fix your ringing ears. Once your ring begins to fade away, you look up at Obrev, who is staring past you with a look of horror. Your toes suddenly feel cold and wet. Comrade, there's a leak. You look at the front of the boat and see a hole where the water is gushing forth. You come to the realization that what flew past you was shrapnel from the explosion. It must have punched a hole in the boat. The boat is sinking. Now you need to get to land. Now. There, steer the boat towards land. Obrev steers towards the ice as the boat starts to sink. As the boat rams into the ice sheet, you and Obrev both lurch forward. The crash, you are knocked down to your hands and feet. Before the boat sinks, you and Obrev manage to scramble onto the icy shore. Panting, you stand up to look out the ice sheet around you. Obrev is next to you, gasping for air. You both take a moment to catch your breath before silently nodding at each other. Well, where's home? Obrev points silently towards the rising sun. Without exchanging any words, you begin walking in that direction. Obrev follows closely behind. As you walk forward, you can only think of one thing. Maya, I'm coming. And I won't be replaced. Wow. Well, I could have finished that in one episode. The end? Question mark? I feel like I could have done that differently. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to get up to the point where I did the mutiny. right? Right? We're just gonna run ahead until we get to the mutiny. I'm gonna look at the chart. Charts are maps of the ocean floor that were made for using sonography. Something in the charts in this region doesn't make sense to you. In the chart, there was a large body mass at the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't look like any natural formation you have ever seen. This alone perplexed you. But the second chart you made showed that the mass moved. To be safe, you made a third chart. The final chart you saw what appeared to be a chunk of the mass break off from the main body. The shape of the mass does not look like any known animals, and there is no information on any plant-based life that could move that fast. You aren't sure if you accidentally discovered a new species of aquatic life, or if your sensors are on the fritz again. Okay, we're going to look at laughter. We're going to look at plates. We're going to look at mashed potatoes. We are going to... I'm going to do the same thing just in case it changes stuff. Okay, I'm going to go to bed. I crawl into bed, and I begin to fall asleep. I'm not paranoid now. I go, I wake up. There is a bloody mess in a closet. It's human, and my stomach churns, and Captain Stefanov comes out and is missing. I'm going to call it out myself. No one else. We want to run tests on the blood. We'll put the crew at ease. I'm going to wait for Stefanov's response. We're going to go to the medical room. I'm going to begin the second test. I'm going to bring the results back to him. Go to the mess hall. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to wait a second because he's eating stuff the way he shouldn't, and suddenly, he becomes horrific, and we need to stop him. He's something not of this world. We need to evacuate. That was not just an animal. Okay, so logically, I think we need to bring everyone. We need to act now. I'm going to organize a mutiny. Everyone. With Stefanov cares... I'm going to try this again. Let me try this mutiny over once more. Everyone. Stefanov cares more about equipment than our lives. We escape now and blow up the ship so that that creature cannot follow. It will kill us and replace us like Yuri if we don't, so we have to. Several members of the crew begin to get more riled up as you talk. It's time for a mutiny! As you finish your speech, some answer your call for a mutiny with a thunderous roar. Others shrink away and flee from the scene. Damn it. You look away around the room to see 5 members of the crew flocking towards you. They stand in front of you with fists clenched, waiting for your orders. Well, gentlemen, I was hoping for everybody, but this'll have to do. 5 members of the crew have joined my mutiny. You order 2 to raid the armory and rig the ship to blow. The other 2 will gather the food from the kitchen and grab other supplies. And the last one will go with you to secure the lifeboat. You don't quite trust them enough yet to let them secure the boat without you. Well, that makes sense. I'm going to leave the mess hall. As you leave the mess hall, you tell the mutineer with you that you will need to pick up some supplies in your room first. You walk briskly towards your room. The mutineer following is close behind you. You're not sure what his name is. Ask his name. It's Boris. I worked in the kitchen. Oh, no. You smile assuringly at him. Nice to meet you. Together we might make it out of here alive. Oh, no. You continue running towards the living quarters. Oh, I suddenly got very scared. When you arrive at the living quarters, Boris states that he needs to get something from his room as well. You agree to meet at the entrance in 5 minutes. You then head to your room alone. Soon you arrive at the door. I'm going to open the door. You open the door. There's a large knife. Smiling at me, my daughter. I pause for a moment before closing the locket, stashing it in my pocket. As I grab the locket, I accidentally knock over some papers on my desk. I look over the charts with the strange readings. Sure, I'll read over the charts. You remember the unidentified body of mass that showed up in the charts earlier? Yeah, you start to wonder if it was something to do with the creature. As you read over the charts, you begin to piece together theories. In the third chart, a chunk of mass was moving, broke off from the main body and appeared to be moving. Yeah, I read this earlier. You study the chart for a few moments before finally realizing that the chart displays a slight altitude change for that chunk. Was it moving upwards towards the ship? If this thing came from that body mass, could it just be a small part of a much larger organism? Leave the room! You wait up at the agreed upon waiting point, but Boris doesn't show up. It's been 5 minutes and he's still not back yet. You begin to get angsty. It's been too long. You turn to leave and begin walking when you hear something behind you. Oh no. I'm gonna turn around. Comrade Victor! You pull the knife out of your pocket and clasp it behind your back. As Boris runs up to you, he begins to eye you suspiciously. Were you going to leave me behind? Of course not. You lie and tell him that you have to head towards the lifeboat now. Make sure that he is in front of you so that you can watch his every move. Head towards the lifeboat. You start heading towards the lifeboat with Boris. As you walk behind him, you tighten your grip on the knife hidden behind your back. You begin thinking. Maybe it's him. What should I do? Something feels off. What do I do? I'm going to question him. What do you mean, comrade? I am not a monster, if that is what worries you. Here, let me prove it. He opens his bag and takes out a picture of a woman. This is my wife. Would monster keep picture with sentimental value? I think no. Now let's keep moving. He turns around and continues walking towards the lifeboat. You're not entirely convinced. There is still so much that is unknown about the creature. I will do nothing. You walk towards the lifeboat with him. Suddenly you hear a loud bang echo throughout the halls of the ship. You think it's a gunshot. You both begin to run. You begin to notice blood trails going in and out of some of the rooms. The monster has been busy. You turn the corner and see the lifeboats. As the lifeboats come to view, you feel a wave of relief wash over you. You can finally get out of here. However, your relief quickly fades as you hear shouting, and you see Captain Stefanov and one other person run around the corner. Uh-oh. Victor! Stop now! Stefanov shouts. A crew member accompanying him points a gun at you. Oh, shoot, I committed mutiny. Might as well be a monster at this point. Raise your hands up. Stefanov and his lackey begin to run towards you, gun still pointed directly at your chest. Stefanov growls at you. Bjorn, you fucker, starting a mutiny when monster roams ship? What is wrong with you? You split our forces. I had to kill crew member who was rigging the ship to blow. They shot my guard. I didn't stop him in time. Ship will blow in 15 minutes. He gestured towards the soldier next to him. I almost lost Pavel here in the chaos, but I found him again. You attempt to convince Stefanov to leave. Yeah, we should. There's a bomb that's going to blow in 15 minutes. Stefanov, we have to go. Stefanov cuts you off before you can finish. No, I will not finish. I was not finished is what he means to say. He turns to Boris. I expected more from you, Boris. We will escape on the lifeboat. But the both of you shall be executed for your crimes. He signals for Pavel to shoot. No, shoot. Literally. Pavel freezes. His head begins to twitch. And black worm-like tendrils begin to flick out of his sleeve. Oh no! You look over at Boris and the same thing is happening to him. Shoot! You look to Stefanov and yell, run! As Stefanov realizes what is happening, Pavel's arm transforms into a long, slender black blade and impales him on it. The tendrils making up the blade wriggle as they begin to consume the captain from the inside out. Nasty. Without even thinking, you sprint down the corridors, seeing the bodies of the other crew members strewn about the ship. You see that some of the bodies have bullet wounds. You're unsure if they died because of the monster or because of the mutiny. What did you do? Oh, the mutiny was the worst choice. You begin to slow down as you realize what you have done. You divided the crew. You started the mutiny. The crew killed each other, and the monsters picked off the stragglers. You did this. You're a murderer. No redemption. You fall to the floor and begin to sob in the middle of chaos. You hear a roar as the monster begins to approach you, but there is nothing to fight it with. Nowhere to run. No one to help you. You accept death. Death is all you deserve. Everyone is dead because of you. Your selfishness killed the crew. Your inability to trust killed you. Look down at your hands. You can hear footsteps approaching you, but you don't look up. There's a hissing noise, and you feel a firm tug on the back of your clothes. You're lifted up off the floor, and as you look upwards at your captor, you see a black mass of ever-mutating, worm-like strands. It is both solid and shapeless at the same time. You look into its black, soulless eyes and close your own as it lets out a blood-curdling shriek. You accept your fate. There's a deafening roar. In an instant, everything is white. Your entire body is enveloped in an excruciating burning sensation, and then a comforting warmth envelops you. The monster shrieks, but more high-pitched and wailing. It sounds as if it's dying. Feel your body burn away, and you realize what has happened. The explosives have gone off, and this is it. There's no way to survive the explosion. Even though you know that you are about to die, you feel some comfort knowing that the creature was caught in the blast. Close your eyes. As you close your eyes, all sensations begin to fade away until you feel nothing, see nothing, and are nothing. Okay, so here's my thoughts. I think that we can come back and I can do the last choice. Which was try and leave by myself. And I feel like that's actually going to be the worst option. I think the mutiny was bad, but I feel like trying to leave by myself is purely selfish. And I think that's going to be the worst ending. So I think one more part and we'll return to this. I hope you're enjoying it. I think I'm going to just go ahead and record this tonight because I'm feeling it. Well, maybe it'll be a short last episode. We'll see. Appreciate you joining me. I'll see you later. Bye.